Well, good morning, everybody. Grace and peace to you from our Lord Jesus Christ and all the saints here in the data center, which is just me, as you can see. Sorry I missed this past Sunday's video. I was on vacation with my wife, and we were just relaxing. I only worked 2 days last week, so I didn't really didn't have time to do a video. So I did promise a data center tour. So we'll do that. So yeah, this is our data center here. We're going to start back here. This whole area, from this file cabinet over to here, actually to here, there was a rack right here. This is our old legacy racks. We're almost completely out of it. We used to have a row of racks here. We had those racks down at the end where that door is open. And then right here in front of the windows, we had another row of racks right there. And these weren't here. So it was kind of all haphazard set up. And we're trying to migrate everything into these racks here. So these are the legacy. And what we have here, so we got some patch panels that go to some of our older areas. We call it the towers. It's our 100-year-old brick building, 120-year-old, I guess, pretty old. So yeah, that's all we have here is our fiber panels. It's all old fiber. This is our distribution switch for those older areas. This is about all that's left on it. Not much there. And that's about all that's in that rack. Except we have one little fiber media converter thing there. And that is to connect to this Cisco switch you see hiding down here. That is a county switch that connects our sheriff's department that's here on site. They have some sheriff's deputies. And that's their switch. Over here we have we call our PACS servers. PACS is basically radiology images, X-rays, MRIs, whatever. They're stored in this system here. I don't know that much about it, so I can't tell you much about it. But those are the servers for our PACS system. We don't touch it. We're not going to move it. They're going to install some new servers over here in this rack down here, and we're just going to leave these here until those new ones are in place. So we're not going to touch them. And then in the back here, which is easier, I guess I'll go around this way. It's kind of a mess. In the back here, we have a load balancer for the PACS servers. We have a switch for the PACS servers. And yeah, that's about all we have back here. Nothing exciting. That's what the back of the servers look like. If you've never seen the back of servers, there you go. Go ahead and take along. Load balancers, I can't tell you much about because I don't use them. I mean, I know what they do, and I know basically their basic operation, but I can't go deep into the theory of how they work or anything, so sorry about that. The help desk guys are storing their junk in my data center. I'm going to have to talk to them about that. No reason for a chair to be in here. All right, we'll go down here and start at the business end, my business end. So what I lovingly refer to as rack number 1. We've got patch panels up at the top for fiber. This one's open because I was doing some troubleshooting, but these are all patch panels here. We have some ISP devices from Comcast, more than likely. This is how we get off-site We've got matching devices down in the MDF, so we have redundant connections. And the fiber decides which one we take, our fiber mesh. So yeah, so these two devices are for ISPs, Internet Service Providers. This is the, this switch here is, there we go, this switch here is county owned. And that's basically our connection to the outside world. They manage that. And this is our demarcation between us and them. We just use copper cables between us and them, untagged traffic between our switch and their switch. So the switch right below that is our WAN switch. That's the county WAN switch. That's ours. We've got some cable management. This is core switch number 1 right there. That's doing all of our routing now. Well, sharing the load of doing all of our routing. And that guy, sorry, some of our routing. This is all Cerner equipment down here. We got just a regular old switch to connect all their equipment together. They got a firewall. No, I'm sorry. This is the switch here. That's the firewall below. This thing up here, which I called a switch and it's not, is basically a console terminal server, so they can console in, and it also lets them power cycle their devices. So the power cords for these guys are all plugged into this thing up at the top. They can console in, they can reboot their devices, whatever they need to do. And yeah, so there's that device. What do they call it? Console box. Okay. So there's that. There's their switch. There's their firewall, and there's their router, right down there. And then below that is another ISP box. So they go into a Sienna, which then comes up here and goes into another Sienna, which then goes out to them. So here we got another fiber patch panel. That's from Utility Telephone. It's our backup internet. This is our segmentation firewall right here, or our east-west firewall. And this is our edge firewall, or our north-south firewall. Down below, we have, that's an old ASA for use with our healthcare interpreter network. We don't really, well, we do, we don't. We do manage it, but we don't. I know that doesn't make sense, but it's true. So I'm given the configs. I blast the config in there, and then the HCIN gives me the configs, and then we just let it run. That's an old firewall that we use just for testing in here. It's our internet Wi-Fi network, we call it. That's all it's used, is for wireless testing, basically. And then way down here at the bottom, hopefully we can see it, the very bottom is our top of rack switch. And that's what all the management interfaces and anything else we might need from these switches up here are plugged into that guy. And hopefully you can see it. All right, that is rack number 1. Wasn't that exciting? I shouldn't joke. For a lot of you, it probably is. You've never seen stuff like this. Come on. Okay. All right, we'll do it this way. So over here, not much in this rack. Got a lot of patch panels up at the top. You just keep adding more and more fiber, more and more fiber. This is core switch 2. Used to have layer 3 on it. Now it is simply a layer 2 switch. That's all it does. Basically distribution switch. So, and that provides redundant connectivity to a lot of the different areas we have. Okay, down here, way down here near the bottom, we have a little black box that does something or other. I can't remember what it does. allows some vendor into our network to get to their devices. I think it might be PAX. We have 3 Palo Alto firewalls here that are basically just a lab test environment for us. And then down at the bottom, sure I'm seeing it, that's the edge switch for the all the IS employees here and sitting outside these windows. So we call it, it's an employee switch basically. So that's all that's in this rack. And that's where all the IS employees are. Don't knock on the glass. Don't feed them, especially after midnight. All right, over here, where it gets a little more exciting for some of you guys, we have our Nutanix, half of our Nutanix environment. So, and then a Rubrik box. Nutanix is just, if you've heard of VMware or ESX or anything, that's basically that. And it's all in one. It takes the processing power and the disk space and all that and just incorporates it into one box. You don't have to have an external disk array. You connect them all together and they all share resources, and it's super cool and amazing, and I'm sure there's people out there that know far more about Nutanix than I do. But it's pretty cool. Not too much to see from this side. So we will go around to the back side of this rack before moving on to the next rack. So let's move around to the back side here. Here we go. I got to remember not to shout. I keep forgetting I'm wearing a microphone. So this is the back side of the rack. So we've got another patch panel up at the top. It's a rack or inter-rack patch panel, we call it. So up there very top, we've got our copper rack switches. They are VSP switches, BOSS switches. Right down below that, we've got just a regular copper switch. You can put in all kinds of different media up here, but down here, this is just for copper. We didn't want to waste real estate up there for a bunch of copper G-bits, so that's what that switch is for. This is the back of the Nutanix boxes. So you basically have, each one of these is 2 physical hosts. Sorry, I keep forgetting the lenses over there. There's 2 hosts per chassis here. So that's why we have 4 connections. 2 connections from here, 2 connections from here. They're basically copper SFP cables, and they go up to the switches up there. And yeah, that's the back of the servers. If you go in the next rack, we'll start from the back. We will start, because it looks almost exactly the same. So from the top down about halfway, it's exactly the same. We've got 2 VSP switches up there. We've got a regular Exos copper switch right there. We've got the Nutanix and Rubrik devices right here. And then we have a few more standalone servers way down there. That's challenging to do one-handed. Surprisingly challenging. And just for completeness sake, there's the front of the servers. There's the back of the switches, in case you're curious what those look like. I don't like the VSP switches in one regard because the console connections are on the back. We're on the Exos copper switches, console connections on the front. I like it better that way. I don't know. I like it on the front. There's the Nutanix boxes. And then down there are the physical servers. And yes, they are HP Pro Lions. There we go. Now we're getting over to our legacy server racks. And I believe, so we have more PAX equipment up here. And I believe which is which? Okay, I believe this is the VoIP system. So that goes with PAX across the aisle over there. And this is one of our VoIP servers. And all the disk space it needs. Again, I don't know much about these servers, so I'm sorry I can't tell you very much. There's the back of the copper switches. We'll see those in just a second. Last of our server racks and more legacy PAX stuff, which we aren't going to touch until it's decommissioned. Then we'll just rip it out, and we'll rip these racks out or remove them. So here's the, oh shoot, I forgot all about these. I have to remove these switches. The switch died, so we replaced it with this one. There was no need to have two switches because it used to serve a whole row of servers, and those are all gone now. So see, all that's left is these cables there and this rack. That's what's going to all these servers. So not much there. Looks like I could have used a 12-port switch. Oh well. Yeah, I'm going to have to remove these switches, get rid of those, and I'll have two more fibers I can get rid of and remove this guy right here. That connects into this switch over here. So I'll have two more fibers I can get rid of. So that'll be good. A little bit of cleanup. It makes my boss happy. She likes seeing things get cleaned up. So anyway, that's the tour of the data center. I know some of you were asking for, so I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, that's all I got for this week. So if you like what you saw, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell if so desired. And keep those great comments coming. If you have any questions, ask, and I'll try to answer it as best I can. And prayer requests, anything. You know, I do pray for everybody that asks. So love doing that. So that's all we got this week, folks. Thanks for watching. God bless. See you next week.